Every few years, we see a playoff run that will be remembered in the NBA history books. From 2011 Dirk, 2018 LeBron, and 2023 Jimmy Butler, these are runs that will live on in history. In 2025, Tyrese Halliburton, Pascal Siakam, and the Indiana Pacers went on one of these types of runs. They were doubted and overcast, and in 2025, they put the NBA on notice. Today, we will be looking into the madness that was the 2025 Indiana Pacers. Throughout the 2010s, the Indiana Pacers had always been one of the best teams in the league, but they were never able to get to the top. With Paul George, the Pacers were able to make it all the way to the conference finals twice, both times losing to the Miami Heat. The Pacers looked to have a bright future, but due to injuries and roster decay, the Pacers were never able to reach their full potential, and Paul George was soon traded. In that trade, they got back Victor Oladipo, a former second overall pick that had not reached his potential. In Indiana, however, he would blossom, as he made 2 All-Star teams and won the Most Improved Player award in 2018. However, just like Paul George, a devastating injury would completely ruin his career. The Pacers would make the playoffs for 3 straight seasons, all 3 times losing into the first round, and by 2022, it was clear that this core could not win anymore. During the 2022 trade deadline, they traded Domantas Sabonis to the Kings for Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton. During the offseason, they traded Malcolm Brogdon to the Celtics for a bunch of end-of-the-bench role players. At the time, this trade was mocked as the Pacers gave up a player that was scoring at an all-star level for basically nothing. Later on, however, one of those players, Aaron Nesmith, would break out into an amazing 3-and-D role player. In that year's draft class, they would select 2 players that would be instrumental to their following finals run in Benedict Mathurin and Andrew Nembhard. That following year, the Pacers would miss the playoffs, but they began to build an identity. Tyrese Halliburton broke out onto the scene, averaging 20 points and 10 rebounds while making his first All-Star team, and rookie Benedict Mathurin averaged 16.7 points, finishing 4th in the Rookie of the Year voting. The following year would see the Pacers take another jump. In the first ever in-season tournament, Tyrese Halliburton balled out, averaging 26 points and 12 assists as the Pacers made it all the way to the Cup Finals. At that year's trade deadline, they traded for All-Star Pascal Siakam from the Raptors, which improved the Pacers immensely. That year, they would finish with a 47-35 record, as they would finish as the 6th seed in the East. In the first round, they would face the Milwaukee Bucks, who were without Giannis Antetokounmpo. After splitting games 1 and 2, a crucial game 3 on their home floor took place. Down by 3 with 6.9 seconds left, Chris Middleton nailed a 3-pointer to tie the game. In overtime, once again down by 3, Chris Middleton again buried a 3-pointer to tie the game with 6.7 seconds left. But with one final shot to win the game, Tyrese Halliburton was given the ball.
6 seconds to go. Crosses over on Beverly. Float game for the win! Tyrese! The terror!
Tyrese Halliburton knocked down an and-one floater to win the game for Indiana. The Pacers would end up winning the series in 6 games, and now for the first time in a decade, the Pacers were headed to the second round where they would face the 2nd seed New York Knicks. The series went back and forth as each team won every game at home, which led us into a Game 7 at Madison Square Garden. From the jump, the Pacers were simply better, winning by 11 and bringing them to the conference finals where they would face an absolute juggernaut in the Boston Celtics. The Celtics were heavily favored, but in Game 1, the Pacers looked to pull off an upset. With 10 seconds left and up by 3, the Pacers had the ball looking to take away Game 1, but what happened next was an absolute disaster for the Pacers.
Timeout if they can't get it in. Nembhard looking. Finds Siakam, knocked out of bounds. No official call. The officials, Celtics will inbound. Tatum trying to get free. Throwing in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the 3. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the 3 to tie the game. Pacers with a chance to win it at the end. Halliburton's free, gets it. Halliburton drives inside the arc. Final seconds, Halliburton just gets it off, flings it up, shot no good. Overtime here in Game 1.
Jaylen Brown would knock down an insane corner 3 to send the game into overtime, and the Pacers would end up losing to Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Game 2 would see Jaylen Brown go off for 40 as the Pacers lost by 16. In this game, however, Tyrese Halliburton re-aggravated a hamstring injury that had affected him all season, and he would be out for games 3 and 4. The Pacers put up a good fight, having double-digit leads in both games 3 and 4, but in clutch time, the Celtics in both games got away with the victory. In that year's summer, he would be selected to join Team USA in the 2024 Olympics. However, he would only get to play 26 minutes of playing time as he was benched during the semifinal and the final. Going into the 2025 season, the Pacers had high hopes, but the way the season started was rough. For the first month of the season, the Pacers had a sub-500 record, but what was even worse was their play from their franchise superstar Tyrese Halliburton. He averaged just 15 points on 38% from the field, but what was especially concerning was the drastic difference in his play at home versus on the road. At home, he averaged 21 a game on great efficiency, but on the road he averaged just 12 points on 32% from the field and 19% from 3. This wasn't just a slow start to the season. It was clear that something was wrong. The slow start was mostly due to a hamstring injury that happened during the 2023-2024 season that kept on getting re-aggravated. However, as the season went on, Tyrese Halliburton began to get his groove back, and the Pacers started winning. By the All-Star break, they were sitting with a 30-23 record, as Pascal Siakam made it into the All-Star game. Through the second half of the year, the Pacers continued the win. In a March game against their rival in the Milwaukee Bucks, the Pacers desperately needed this win. Down by 3 with just under 4 seconds left, they gave the ball to Tyrese Halliburton, and what happened next was insanity.
Down 3, Halliburton's got the ball, Halliburton rises up! And there's a whistle! Oh my goodness! Tyrese Halliburton!
In a much-needed game for playoff seeding, the Pacers were able to get a 1-point victory off of Tyrese Halliburton's game-winning 4-point play. By the end of the season, Indiana finished with a 50-win record, which was their most amount of wins in over a decade. Tyrese Halliburton made the All-NBA third team as he had a great second half to the year. Going into the playoffs, the Pacers were seen as a sneaky fun team, but nobody really respected them. The ultimate disrespect came when the NBA released their anonymous player poll. In that poll, Tyrese Halliburton was named the NBA's most overrated player. And as we now know, this would be the ultimate fuel to fuel one of the greatest playoff runs in NBA history. In the first round, they would be facing their arch rival in the Milwaukee Bucks. For the past 2 years, the Bucks and the Pacers have been one of the bitterest rivalries in the league. From Giannis scoring 64 points and crashing out over a game ball, to the playoff series last year, to Tyrese Halliburton's 4-point play, the games between the Pacers and Bucks were always cinema. However, just like last year, the Bucks would be missing one of their 2 best players. Damian Lillard was out with a blood clot and could potentially be out for the whole series. In Game 1, Indiana used this to their advantage. They dominated the Bucks by 19 and Pascal Siakam dropped 25. In Game 2, Damian Lillard would return, which helped the Bucks a lot, but it was still not enough as the Pacers got another win and went up 2 games to none. Pascal Siakam dropped 24 points and 11 rebounds, while Tyrese Halliburton dropped 21 points and 12 assists. In Game 3, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Gary Trent Jr. would each have 37 points as the Bucks won Game 3. In Game 4, the Pacers would dominate, winning by 26, but some unfortunate news came for the Milwaukee Bucks' Damian Lillard, as he unfortunately tore his Achilles and would be out for the rest of the playoffs. In Game 5, most people expected the Pacers to dominate, but the Bucks jumped out to a 20-point lead in the first half. The Pacers would slowly crawl their way back, eventually leading to a game-tying play where Tyrese Halliburton would get the game-tying dunk with 10 seconds left. In overtime, the Pacers had a perfect opportunity, but that is when Gary Trent Jr. happened. He hit 4 threes in overtime as the Bucks led by 7 with 40 seconds left. Many people would have given up, but the Pacers was simply different. This game would be the beginning of one of the greatest clutch playoff performances ever.
Trent with 37, Giannis with 37, and tonight they've combined for 63. 7-point lead. Nembhard with a 3. Good. Friends show up. You just want him to show up. Yeah. You know? Here he showed up. The steal. 4-point game. There's still life in the building. Halliburton attacking, and the foul. 17.1 to go.
The ball in bounds. He stopped and picked it up. You just dribble that out throughout down the baseline and force them to foul you. As soon as you pick it up, you give the advantage to the defense.
1-point game.
Porter to Green. Trent with it, and he loses it on a brilliant night. Gary Trent Jr. has it roll off of his fingertips.
Wow. I am in shock.
Here we go. Halliburton. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. Halliburton for the lead. 1.3 to go. Pacers by 1. Porter to inbound it. No. Giannis is going to take it now. Here's Gary Trent Jr. Lets it fly. And the Pacers are moving on. What a comeback in overtime.
The Pacers had done something that only one other team in NBA history has done, which is came back from down 7 in less than a minute. The Pacers had made it to the second round, but everybody thought that this is where their run would end, as in the second round they were facing a powerhouse in the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavs had won 64 games, putting them as the #1 seed in the East. Even with one of their all-stars being hobbled in Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley were seen as enough to beat Indiana. However, in Game 1, the Pacers put themselves on notice. From the start, the Pacers led as they got a 121-112 upset victory. In Game 2, however, things would get much harder for Indiana, as the Cavs led by as much as 20 and went into the fourth quarter leading by 14. The Pacers would start the chip away at the lead, but down by 7 with 57 seconds left. It seemed impossible. However, as we learned from Game 5 versus Milwaukee, the Pacers could never be counted out.
Get it in, and they know that the Pacers are going to be pressing.
And just keep in mind what Indiana did in that clincher against Milwaukee. Look at that stick back. Naismith takes here in Cleveland. This is all you want in the NBA playoffs. 47 seconds, contact, Mitchell and Naismith, offensive. Here we go. Inbound Halliburton, and here we go. 10 seconds, Nembhard. On the wing, Siakam attacks and lays it in. You foul here immediately if you're Rick Carlisle.
I do. Oh, my goodness.
There's a steal, Nembhard. 25 seconds, unbelievable.
And really, the Cavs have struggled the entire game getting the ball inbound.
Halliburton sizes up Jerome, and here he comes to the cup, contact, and Halliburton is going to shoot free throws with a chance to cut it to 1. They don't have a timeout, Kenny Atkinson, so he can't challenge.
No, that's a great call, and they've got to, again, get this basketball in. It's going to be a one-point game. You know you're going to get fouled. If you're the cat, your guys have got to do a much better job of getting open.
Misses Halliburton, the rebound. 9 seconds. They do have a timeout. Carlisle's going to let him play. Halliburton steps back and hits. Tyrese Halliburton trying to take Cleveland's heart. And it is over. The Indiana Pacers in a Game 2 stunner.
Unbelievable.
The Pacers had done it again. They went on an 8-0 run in the final 57 seconds to steal Game 2 away from Cleveland, even with Donovan Mitchell scoring 48 points. Now, Indiana was in control of the series, and they would get to go to their home floor up 2-0. However, with Darius Garland and Evan Mobley coming back, the Cavs would dominate Game 3, with Donovan Mitchell having another 40-point game, and Tyrese Halliburton having just 4 points. In Game 4, the Pacers would bounce back, winning by 20 to go up 3-1 in the series, and in Game 5, with a chance to finish the job, they won by 9, ending Cleveland's season and advancing to the conference finals. Despite how great they had played, many people ignored the Pacers as they had played 2 teams that were hurt, but now they were up against the heavily favored and healthy New York Knicks. Game 1 would see a close game up into the 4th, when New York went on a huge fourth quarter run, leading by 17 with 6 minutes left. But that is when the Aaron Nesmith magic started. He knocked down 3 3-pointers to bring Indiana to a 9-point lead with a minute left. In NBA history, no team had come down from 9 points with a minute left. but what we knew about the Pacers is that they were used to doing the impossible.
Really surprised that they've left Shepard on him one-on-one.
And I'm surprised they don't have Miles Turner, the rim protector, on the floor as well.
Neesmith, three, good! Another one from outside. Right there, pressure by the Pacers. Towns, Bridges, Towns to the hole. Neesmith again, three, got it! He's a flamethrower!
After the challenge, so it's a dead ball on the side. I don't know what the controversy there was.
Neesmith, it's a three, it's a two-point game!
Oh my
It's
goodness.
a two-point game with 22 seconds to go. Towns at the line.
He's 8 for 9 going into these two here.
Playoffs, he's 92% from the free throw line. 14.3 in regulation. Knicks by 3. No timeouts. Indiana 1. Towns again. He's got 33. And a timeout taken. 13.9.
The thing with this much time, if they get up a shot, you're worried about offensive rebound and kick out three.
Nembhard, Neesmith.
They're going to call it on the floor.
It was about how much time was left when Halliburton missed and got the ball back and won the game in Cleveland. But no, I'm having him make this.
Timeout. And I assume that Robinson's going to take the ball out of bounds because he's the worst free throw shooter. They can't sub anyone in.
Or he's just going to run down the floor because you can't grab him.
1 point game, Hart to inbound. Brunson's got it. Oh, throws it away, but kicked up right there. Anunoby, and quickly fouled by Siakam.
Takes both. New York will foul as the ball tries to come up the floor. But of course, if he misses one of them, there's nothing you can't foul. They're going to just play it out.
With 2:35 left in the fourth, it was a 14-point lead for the Knicks, 119-105. And a missed free throw right there. Two-point game. Indiana with it. Halliburton. He'll take it. He'll backpedal, a three for the win, and go! He got
Tyrese Halliburton and the Pacers capped off one of the best comebacks of all time, with one of the best game winners of all time. Except, his foot was on the line, and we had overtime, and the choke celebration was going to have to wait another 5 minutes. Luckily for the Pacers, they wouldn't choke themselves, and they won the game by 3. To go from down 14 with 3 minutes left to winning the game is absolutely insane, and it shows just how cool, calm, and collected this team was when down. However, many people were still not convinced, and they were going to have to show up in Game 2. Game 2 would be another close one, but the Pacers were able to sneak out with a 5-point win thanks to Pascal Siakam's 39 points. Now, the Pacers were up 2-0, with a chance to complete the sweep on their home floor. In Game 3, the Pacers would lead by as much as 20, but thanks to a 20-point fourth quarter from Karl Anthony Towns, the Knicks would return the choke. Game 4 was now a huge game for the Pacers, and they absolutely showed up, beating the Knicks by 9 to take a 3-1 lead. Tyrese Halliburton would play the best game of his career. 32 points, 15 assists, 12 rebounds, and 4 steals. That, along with Pascal Siakam's 30 points, was simply too much for New York. In Game 5, with MSG's home court, the Pacers would win by 17. But in Game 6, back at home with a chance to get the job done, Indiana showed up. Pascal had his 31, and Tyrese got his 21 points and 13 assists. Pascal Siakam was rewarded the Eastern Conference Finals MVP, with its averages of 25 and 5, while Tyrese would average 21, 11, and 6. Now, for the first time in 25 years, the Indiana Pacers would be in the NBA Finals. This was a chance to bring Indiana their first ever NBA championship, but in order to do that, they would have to face a basketball Goliath in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Indiana would have to face the league MVP, who just had one of the best guard seasons ever and one of the best defenses of the 21st century. This was a nearly impossible task, But as we learned from these playoffs, if there was anyone to accomplish this feat, it would be the Pacers. In Game 1, the Thunder would dominate for a majority of the game, leading by as much as 15 with 9 minutes to go. But that's when the Pacers' three-point barrage began.
A brilliant acquisition from Sam Presti. Nembhard gets inside, back out, Obi Toppin three-pointer, got it! Pacers have been an excellent road team in these playoffs, 6-2. Miles Turner from downtown, his first three-pointer. 7 minutes remaining. Neesmith trying to find some room, surrounded, knocked away, gets it again, double team. Toppin three-pointer, puts it in. Obi Toppin his fifth three-pointer.
Man that has left him, so that's what you're looking for, is that open man.
Turner sidestep, banks in the three. Miles Turner.
Halliburton got to get himself involved.
Layup, bank shot's good. Back. Toppin wanted to shoot, Caruso wouldn't let him. Neesmith drills it, rattles it home. Nembhard and Wallace, step back, three-pointer. Short, rebound, the follow, Siakam puts it in.
They hit 6 three-pointers in the final 9 minutes to bring Indiana to only down 1. And with an SGA missed jumper, Indiana now had the golden opportunity to take the game.
Found Neesmith. The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. Timeout, OKC. Tyrese Halliburton does it again!
Tyrese Halliburton had done the impossible again. They had gone from down 9 points with 3 minutes to go to winning the game. At this point, it was obviously not a fluke. This Pacers team was something special. In Game 2, however, the Thunder would wake up, winning by 16 points to tie up the series. In a pivotal Game 3, Indiana would find themselves down again. But just like in Game 1, they showed up in the fourth, outscoring the Thunder by 14 points to take control of the series. Game 4 was now one of the most important games in both franchises' history, and it would go down to the wire in the fourth again, as both teams went back and forth. However, in the fourth, SGA would go on an absolute masterclass, dropping 15 points in the final 5 minutes to lead the Thunder to a 7-point victory. The series was now tied up, and Game 5 would be a disaster for Indiana. The Pacers lost by 11, as Jalen Williams erupted for 40 points, but that was not the most concerning part. For the Pacers, Tyrese Halliburton would have the worst game of his life. He had just 4 points and 0 of 6 shooting, but it was clear that this was not just a regular off night. It came out that Tyrese Halliburton had strained his calf, an injury that in any other circumstance would have had him sit out. However, this was the NBA Finals, and Tyrese was not going to sit this one out. Most analysts believed that this was it for Indiana, as with their star player hurt, OKC would walk all over them. However, thanks to teamwork and maybe some devil magic, the Pacers would do the impossible again. They blew out the Thunder by nearly 20, absolutely dominating them. This time, it wasn't Tyrese or Pascal having some crazy night or an all-time comeback. Pascal had 16 points and 13 rebounds, Obi Toppin had a team-high 20 points off the bench, and TJ McConnell had 4 steals. This game showed just how well balanced this team was, and now, for the first time since 2016, we had a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. 48 minutes, one game to decide NBA history. And from the jump, this game looked to be special. At the beginning of the first quarter, both teams went back and forth, until Tyrese Halliburton started to take over. He would knock down 3 threes in just over a minute, bringing Indiana to a 4-point lead. This game was looking like another Tyrese takeover, and anxiety began to grow in OKC. However, with just one play, one of the greatest playoff runs in NBA history would come to a sudden end.
Nembhard kicks it out, Toppin. Good contest from Dort. Halliburton falls down. He looks hurt. Here comes SGA the other way. Inside, and Williams throws it down. Halliburton's hurt right away when he fell. Oh, you get in a situation like this, you're just sick to your stomach for the young man. We'll take a timeout.
On a routine play, Tyrese Halliburton would fall to the ground in agonizing pain. Upon review, the worst-case scenario became most likely, a torn Achilles. The entire sports world was waiting for a Willis Reed-type comeback, but this never happened. The Pacers, however, would not give up. They went into halftime with a lead, but without their superstar, Indiana would fall in the biggest game in franchise history. Tyrese had to watch from the locker room as another team and another superstar got to hold a trophy he worked so hard for, without even getting a real chance to put up a fight. As NBA fans, we were robbed of one of the greatest games in NBA history, but for Tyrese, the Pacers, and the state of Indiana, this meant a whole lot more. They were robbed of a true chance to bring an NBA championship to their city. As the offseason and the following season began, the situation for the Pacers would only get worse. Miles Turner, who had been with the Pacers for a decade, would leave for their biggest rival in the Milwaukee Bucks. The following season, the Pacers are currently sitting with one of the worst records in the NBA. At the 2026 trade deadline, the Pacers traded for center Ivica Zubac from the LA Clippers. He will be a great pick-and-roll partner for Tyrese Halliburton next season. Although the story of the 2025 Pacers ended in heartbreak, we all know that this is not the end of their story. With Tyrese coming back and them potentially adding a top 3 pick, the Pacers will hopefully be back to where they were, and Tyrese will continue to wreak havoc on the league. However, with whatever happens next, the 2025 Pacers will still live on as one of the most exciting teams in NBA history.